What's up, guys? We're here at Nova Fitness, Ashley's gym, good friend of mine, so I'm excited to check it out.
So I organized the gym in a way that was makes sense.
Okay.
So the left side is basically where all the leg machines are. We have the hip extension here, followed by horizontal leg press. Then we have the seated leg extension and a lying hamstring curl.
Okay.
And then we have a lying hack squat and a perfect squat machine. These are the two that people can be a little unfamiliar with, but more people are starting to see this. So it's very simple. You just lay in it, you press your legs, very heavy, humbling as fuck. And then this one over here is a perfect squat. So really you just got to get your shoulders under it. And it's so smooth. Have you used a pendulum squat before?
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost like that.
Yep.
Where it's just like, you just take it for the ride. Very easy to use, you just pull a lever. And I try to keep it next to the plates in that corner.
Okay.
So the rest over here is cardio. We have at least one bike, one rower, and the rest of the 4 treadmills. Didn't want to get too much like cardio equipment because the whole focus of the gym is strength training.
Okay.
So that is why we just have this. Plus we're next to a boardwalk and people tend to just go there anyways.
Okay.
So that's it for now. And then when you go down here, it's more upper body machines. So you have an incline press. And then the rest are these 2 free motions. So you could do legs if you really wanted to, abs, whatever. But I put them next to each other so that if you want to do bicep curls, you could literally just take the 2, step forward, and curl this way.
Okay.
And the same for this. So it's a simple Star Track machine. I never heard of this brand until I started looking for equipment. And they're really, really good, pretty sturdy, very smooth. Very happy with that purchase, steal. And then we just have the basic lat pull down and seated row machine.
Okay.
Looking to get another one of those actually.
Okay.
And I might put it here, which would defeat the purpose of this all being legs, but I have no room now.
Whatever. Yeah, it all works.
Right? And then this here is where the lifting is done for the heavy stuff. So you could do Olympic lifts or just basically power lifts. I tell people you're going to want to slam here.
Okay.
But technically these pads are the same as the flooring. So if this is all used up, you could just go on the flooring.
Oh, okay.
It just makes a nice designated space.
Yeah.
And plenty of bumpers in between the 2. We have at least one Smith machine, which I wasn't going to keep from the old gym, but my clients convinced me, and this is probably one of the most used ones that we have.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Jeez.
I keep a landmine attachment over here, although we have one more right there.
Okay.
And so we have 4 squat racks lined up, and all of them have a plyo box and some wedges. That's helpful. You don't see a lot of gyms with the wedges. Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I just keep them tucked in, everyone has the access to them, and you can always move it around and use it.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice designated space. And this is the only one that doesn't have it. But just because I wanted people to know you can bench in the squat rack.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
put it in front of the one that doesn't have a mirror so people can kind of get the gist of like, oh, this is a designated one.
Yeah.
And you could use the others should you want to, someone's using that, you could just go to that one too.
Okay.
And use it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the plyo boxes are great for like short people like me who want to step up and do some pull-ups.
Yep.
Or if you want to hit depth, you could just squat down to that.
Okay.
I kept all the racks to have at least 2 horns on the side for the 45s.
Okay.
I just really like having that without all the horns making it look super bulky. It's because we also have like 3 trees around the gym.
Okay.
And I might get another one too.
Yeah.
So
that's enough though.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
And then I keep a Bulgarian split squat thing over here.
Okay.
I love her. She's great.
Yep.
Easy to move. Can leave it here, but I really love this one. And then I have one free motion that I keep next to the dumbbells. This machine, I really, really love it. It is so, so hard to find.
Okay.
I was so grateful that I found it. It took like 3 grown men to bring it into this gym.
Oh God, okay.
But I love it, it's great. My clients love to use it. At first they were a little skittish, but she works like a charm.
Yep.
And then we have 2 sets of dumbbells here, both go up to 75 pounds.
Okay.
I'm working on getting some 80 to 100.
Okay.
That I'm gonna stack on the side there.
Yeah,
but
especially for a strength gym.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. But because it's a soft opening, I really wanted to open it at least first for me and my clients, and then people to sprinkle in. And no one's really had a problem with that so far.
Okay.
But I do want to get the heavier dumbbells because I do have some beefy boys coming in.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good layout.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then we have all these benches here. They're on wheels, so you can always take them around the gym. I keep one fat one there for more stability purposes. But that's pretty much it. And then I have the 2 boxes in the corner, some balls here. So everything's tucked away. Everyone has a designated spot. And then we have my favorite little galaxy wall.
Yeah.
I love this wall.
Did you have someone make this?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I had her paint it while we were still like building the gym.
Yeah.
And I told her I just wanted a galaxy theme. The whole point of this gym is like Nova, Supernova.
Yep.
Or to play on words too for the Portuguese phrase.
Okay.
So
Not familiar.
No?
No.
So Nova means new in
Okay.
Portuguese.
Okay.
And I feel like there's no gym around here that's not only just strength focused, but also not 24 hours.
Okay.
And then like the third thing is like you come to the gym to like basically be a newer. So yeah, Nova means new, and it's also like you're here to make a newer version of yourself, a better version.
Okay.
So that's what that is entangled with the supernova being like, you know, a supernova is basically when the star shines the brightest.
Okay.
So I like to tie it all
So you got a
together.
little heritage in there.
A little heritage, a little like galaxy theme there. I love space.
Okay.
So that's
Nice.
really good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also have this room here. So I created this room. It's technically one big room, but we cut it in half.
Okay.
And now it's just a yoga space, dance space, posing space, whatever you
Okay.
want it to be.
Are you keeping it black?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like, more black?
Well, no, I was just curious because when you said yoga, you think something a little bit more mellow,
Yes.
you know?
So we're working on getting some mood lighting
Okay.
so that it can create a more mellow
Even just like
atmosphere.
something that goes around or something similar to that. Okay.
Yeah, or actually I've also looked into getting some sconces. They have some LED sconces that change color.
Oh, okay.
So I could get that too, and I could
cool.
just put them into these corners.
Well, even just a little like salt lamp or something can
Oh, yeah,
completely
yeah.
change
That's
like the
true.
whole thing, you know? So you got ideas.
I
You
didn't
got
even think
plenty
of that. That's a good point.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, I
something
probably do
simple.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, good idea.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
This room actually wasn't even my idea.
Okay.
A friend of mine was like, why don't you just make this a little dance yoga space? You know?
People utilize it, however. I mean, even if you come in and do some stretching or like some foam rolling or whatever like
Yep.
that, like people love to have like some type of secluded area.
Yes.
So.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
I've noticed some other girls who are a little shyer like to come in here.
That's
so
fair.
it's perfect.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then, so this curtained area, it's
Yeah.
going to be, this is where we're going to have the red light therapy
Oh,
and the
okay.
tanning bed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wasn't going to get the
Oh.
tanning bed, but I had so many people ask me for it.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'll get one
Yeah.
because there are some potential benefits of them.
Yeah.
So I got one, and then we're going to build out the actual red light therapy section in here.
They're going to be both included in the membership?
The red light will be, but not the tanning bed.
Oh, okay.
Those will be like little packages for the members to purchase.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the whole gym's 24 hours.
The whole gym is 24 hours.
Okay.
And it's unstaffed and self-run.
Okay. So you just get like a little key fob or something like that?
Yep, so the key
Okay.
fob is actually on your phone.
Okay.
We didn't want to do anything physical because it could get lost, it could get stolen. And everyone always has a phone on them.
Yeah.
So we managed to get a key fob works. So far, no one's ever had an issue. So
Okay.
it's been going really well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
basically, and then it just have some simple rules, right? So
Yeah.
I tell people when you come into the gym, you grab a towel
Yep.
and you wipe down everything you use that when you're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're done with your workout, you just toss it right in here
Okay.
and wash them. So it's also sustainable in that way too.
Cool.
If
Okay.
people pick up after themselves, it makes the maintenance a lot easier.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seem to respect that too. As you can see, like nothing's really out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you start this gym if you already had another gym?
The studio that I had before was really, really small. It's actually even smaller than this whole section.
Okay.
And I was training my clients out of there, but the classes were like getting a little tight. Classes are more semi-private, really.
Yeah.
It's personal training, strength training, but it's just a small group setting. And a lot of my clients actually complained. They're like, oh, you know, I wish you had a bigger gym, Ashley. I'm so sick and tired of the gyms being packed. These boys are just like, or girls are hogging machines. There's cameras everywhere at other gyms. And like sometimes the gym's not open late enough for them. They're rushing after work. So I was like, yep, all right, I'm listening. And so I've just been saving and saving to get a bigger space for myself so that my clients could get a membership and just go in there. But then I found this space, which was way bigger than I anticipated. And I saw the numbers, I ran them, I made it work. And I was like, you know what? the city doesn't have a 24-hour gym. Nurses, business owners, or like emergency services, people like, they don't have a space to go at weird hours of the day, or even moms. Like my mom likes to work out at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. A lot of gyms don't even open till 5 or 5:30.
Yeah.
So she was struggling too. So I was like, you know what? You are definitely not the only person. I can make this commitment. So I just saved. And then when I found this space by accident, I decided to do it.
Okay. Now, how do you make it so that the gym still gets busy, but you still have that intimacy of the, like we're the only ones in the gym right now. So how do you keep that intimacy while you also want to promote business?
So there's two things to that. One being, because we're a 24-hour gym, we attract people that tend to want to come at those odd hours of the day, specifically really, really late or really, really early. So the hours that I train my clients tends to be quieter, because most of the people that sign up are either coming at like 3, noon, or 8 p.m. or 11 p.m. at night.
Yep.
So you never really run into that crazy chaos.
Yeah.
And also the gym is priced a little more premium. So our memberships range between $60 and $80 a month. And that kind of keeps the riffraff out of being like attracting people that are just hogging up space and equipment and like making it claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So that's how I do that.
Okay, cool. And then what do you want the overall vibe or message of the gym to be?
No nonsense.
Okay.
And just like a comfortable, supportive, everyone gets it kind of environment.
Nonsense.
No nonsense.
That doesn't sound fun. I only want nonsense.
Well, we can have nonsense,
know?
right? We're all really friendly and joking
Only
around,
a small little bit of nonsense.
Yeah. A tolerable amount of nonsense.
Yeah.
Like we still have a lot of like great time here. People joke and laugh.
Yep.
Like yesterday was a really funny time, but
Yeah.
it's just like we don't need people hogging equipment and putting the tripods in front of every piece and like filming other people, or we don't need these people that are also really messy and like putting chalk everywhere. That's the nonsense that I'm referring to. And I want people to feel comfortable. Like I have these 3 young girls who come in and they're just like super shy, but I've noticed that the past few times they've come in and I saw them way more open and comfortable. I see them using equipment without feeling like hiding in the corner or like bringing their weights and going here. They're like using the space and feeling comfortable, which is really nice. And that's what I want. I want them to have a really comfortable space and everyone's really open, really polite.
Yeah.
So
then last thing, are you going to frown upon video and like cameras and people setting up tripods for their own workouts, or what are your thoughts?
I'm undecided on that as of right now. It's something that I completely understand because I film for myself and my clients. So I get it. I'm open to people doing it as long as they're respectful of other people.
Okay.
You know, so we haven't really had anyone bring in a tripod yet.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of waiting to see how that plays out.
Okay.
If it becomes a problem and someone's uncomfortable or like they're filming a ton of people, I'll probably have to be like, hey, let's make this a little more discreet.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So.
Yeah. So, all right, easy enough. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I think it's kind of nice that we have the whole gym to ourselves too. Like, I'm just gonna grab one of the towels. Yeah, we're just gonna take this with us. I mean, she said we could make ourselves at home, you know? So we might as well. Yeah, so you got a good 45 minutes where I can work out? Yeah? Okay, just making sure. Yeah. I think
you working out.
Yeah, I think the best thing in terms of here right now is that not just that we have the whole gym to ourselves, but the whole place is so open. That's the biggest thing. And Ashley's a friend where Ashley and I went to Bridgewater together. That's how I met her. Yeah. Yeah, because Ashley has one other gym, like she was mentioning. And she's one of the personal trainers I probably trust the absolute most. You know, I think sweatshirt's gonna come right off.
Get Dave in one of these.
What?
Back.
What is it?
Get Dave in a workout video. When he's
Get
back.
Dave in one?
Yeah.
I could put Dave in one. Dave would like it.
Yeah,
Dave would enjoy it.
You guys could have some good dances.
We would, because I can definitely have something where I'll be able to invite more people. Because that'll be something I'll be really interested in doing. Yeah, and what'll be crazy is that, like, even stuff like this, where we go and do workouts, if we continue, as we continue to make more of these, it'd be interesting to see, like, you're almost documenting how my body changes as well. Yeah, I think the few times I've been in a gym by myself is like a snow day or like a rain day, where like I've had gyms in the past that I've worked at where like the power has gone out and then we have to send people home, but you still get to work out. Or during COVID, when all the gyms closed, I was working at Swansea Total and they would let us come in and work out. And so it would be, I had a key and I would just work out whenever I wanted. Like, and that was it. That was the best. Hoping I start to get a pump soon too. That way I look better for the camera, right? It was getting hard already. All right. I wonder how many people come here and do a workout and then go right to the Tipsy Toboggan right after.
That was me. A little protein powder and some.
And a margarita. Yeah, anytime you meet a gym owner too, you have to give them tons and tons of credit, because like owning a gym is not something that's super, super profitable unless you're making a lot from the personal training. Because in terms of the overhead to just keep the lights on, unless your like personal training is a more of like a luxury type of thing, and like that's what's actually going to make you money. And so just owning a gym, there's so much liability insurance and things like that that come with it. You're not making a ton of money unless you're training people. You're just not. Part of me almost wishes we were hitting full body, because then we could try every single piece of equipment. You know, so, because, yeah,
a little bit of everything.
yeah, because I want to be able to show people what gyms are like and like what type of person would even like to come here. So like a more advanced type lifter probably wouldn't come here, because as of right now, she only has dumbbells up to 75. But like some of the more like advanced like powerlifter bodybuilders, they're going to need more like 100-pound dumbbells versus someone that just comes here that's like an average lifter. Probably this might better suit you. Like especially the first thing I think of is if I was to give her critique, the first thing, it's very dark. The atmosphere is black, right? But the gym itself, they want them to be like, her vision is to cater to people that aren't as comfortable. And so it's a gym that she wants people to come here and be comfortable, but at the same time, then you have like super dark colors. So I don't know if I'd do it that way. That's what I mean. You know, but I think it's good to give critiques and like my own thought process, especially when we're doing something like this, because it shows people kind of how my mind works. And someone goes and watches this and wants to open up their own gym, then okay, beautiful. Then they can figure out like what they want and how it's going to work. This is still on for you? Okay. I think what's important too is that when people come to the gym, they don't push themselves well enough. And so one of the things that I always tell people is it doesn't matter the weight or things like that. It more just matters how much effort you're giving in. And if your effort is high, that's really all that matters. I don't know if she had any shoulder specific things. We can definitely use these. Because even people that are like building a nutrition, like a workout program or something like that, people get caught up on like the reps and the sets and all these crazy things. But really all you need is if you give enough effort, then any program will work. That's why. Have to adjust this. That, I think, is one of the most humbling in terms of bicep exercises. Like, because it puts you in such a flexed position that whenever you stretch, you're weakening a muscle. And so in turn, if you're going and doing like dynamic stretching of some sort, you're going to be weaker than if you did like a dynamic type of stretch. So in turn, every time that you fully stretch a muscle, it's going to help push more blood in, and it's going to make the exercise more difficult, but in turn, you're going to be a little bit weaker. Yeah, sometimes like to look at a gym too, one of the things you can always look at like the brand of equipment. One of my favorite brands is Nautilus. And so with a lot of the Nautilus equipment, you'll find that like even the seats just move at better angles and they're more fitting so that you can like manipulate your body better. That's just what I've found, especially with Nautilus equipment. Something like Hammer Strength is a really popular one. I'm not the biggest fan of Hammer Strength, but it's fine. Yeah, one of the things people ask me a lot is, like, I don't have like a crazy low body fat percentage or anything like that, but I'm very vascular. Like my forearms, my shoulders, like once I start working out, like I find that my veins tend to pop quite a bit. And so people ask me, okay, how do you become more vascular? One is going to be that you just need to be a little bit leaner. That's the first thing. Second, I do think there's a certain genetic component to getting lean, or not getting lean, but being vascular. Like some people, you see someone that's like really, really skinny and they might be just super vascular even if they don't work out. And so the next thing, okay, go back and change who your parents are. And then the other thing, one, aside from being lean, you also want, the more that you deplete carbohydrates, the less your muscles are going to have that like pop. And so often what will happen is, like if you're doing like a bodybuilding show or something, they'll deplete, and the carbs can get really, really low, like even towards like 50 grams per day, which, so 50 grams of carbohydrates is only gonna be about 200 calories worth of carbohydrates. But then, like the day before and the day of the show, they'll have a ton of carbohydrates, and that's what gives that muscle that like pop. And so what you can do to help be more vascular, make sure that you get carbohydrates pre-workout. That's the biggest thing. Like something that's gonna digest very quickly. And so something like, well, depending on when you work out. So if you're gonna work out in like 90 minutes, I might be willing to have like rice or oatmeal or something like that. But if I was going to work out like in 20 minutes, that's when I'm gonna want something that's gonna be faster acting and easier to digest. So something like fruit or like candy, stuff like that. Your body's gonna be able to break that down and digest that so much quicker. So it's not really beneficial to do that like 90 minutes before, but 20 minutes before is a great time if you're gonna utilize something like that. Whoa, I have not heard this song in a long time. Oh, jeez. I'm already tired. I think one of the cooler things that I can do is, even though I'm like larger and a higher body fat percentage, I can still do pull-ups, which I think is the cool thing. So anytime I go to the gym, I always try to work on pull-ups. I can get like maybe anywhere between 5 to 8 on like a good day, and that's it. Yeah, yeah. Because that's the thing for me about pull-ups is just the form. Like you can kip through a bunch of them. Like if you see like CrossFitters, not to take it away from them, because like it takes a lot to do kipping pull-ups, but something like strict pull-ups is gonna work even more grip strength, forearms, and lats. And so, especially for my body weight, like 195 pounds, I have to pull 195 pounds every single time, as opposed to doing the kipping pull-up, you're more building up kinetic energy, because kinetic energy is just stored energy. It's why runners keep their arms back first, because they're building up kinetic energy as opposed to just being here right from the get-go. It's why you always have an arm back. The more energy you're able to build up, the faster you're gonna be able to go. You know, one of the other things that you can go by to see if you're actually focused at the gym is notice how much your feet move. If your feet are constantly moving, you're taking focus away. But if you're like a solid brick wall and all you're doing is focusing on your breathing and the muscle, you'll be able to get a much better pump, and in turn, you'll be able to give more effort to the actual workout. But people that, you notice it like on bench press a lot, their feet all over the place and they have no stability. And so if you find your feet are constantly moving, it's probably just because you're not focused. Now, one other thing is that people, it's, for me, hard to tell how much someone's pushing themselves, especially to the point of failure. For me, because I can go for a little while where each repetition looks the same. For a lot of people though, they'll go and their reps will start to slow, and then their reps will start to slow, and they can get like 3 or 4 more. For me, I found that no matter how hard I push myself, I'm able to keep the repetitions about the same speed. And then by that last one, I'm really, really pushing, where I can have like a good like mind to muscle connection here. But then that last one, I just can't even get it up. It's not slow. So I think it's hard to tell how much someone is actually pushing themselves. Now I'm tired already. Now, what do you think about a lot of like the, I'll say, banter that I have, like just openly talking?
I think
What do you think? That's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then that gives you things.
It gives it where we can even
Like,
have,
it gives you a voiceover if you want to do like different shots.
Yeah.
Like it gives you just more to edit with.
yeah. Because then that way, when we go and make this into like a YouTube video, this video could end up being 20 minutes as opposed to just watching me work out, saying nothing. Like,
And then the Instagram video.
You're only gonna-
clips.
Yeah,
So
could just
small
be
little
clips.
of this with voiceover.
because we can put like Ashley's interview, something like that, where we can make it a good hook, and then you can get Ashley's interview in there, and then go and have small clips like this where we just piece it together. Now, I think one of the other things that people get wrong is to have a strong core. Yes, you need to do a lot of those like compound type movements, squat, bench, deadlift, press, things like that. They do help with the core, even farmer's carries, things like that. But you'll hear all of this nuance where it says abs made in the kitchen. And so in terms of the body fat percentage and the visibility of the abs, a lot of that is the diet. But at the same time, if you don't work the core, they're not gonna pop as much. And so I try to do abs every single workout, right? So even though I don't have like, I'm not like shredded and have like an absolute six pack, it's important to do all of those core exercises because the core recovers so fast. Something like you doing breath work or different breathing techniques can even be something where it will impact your core. And so your core is constantly working, even just to help hold myself up and stand up straight. There's erector and back muscles that are working, but a lot of this is core too, because if I didn't have a really strong core, I might lean forward a little bit, things like that. Now, the only thing for me with core is that I need to be really careful because I have a hernia. And so I've had it for like 15 years. And I've had it for like 15 years. And it was bothering me like in high school. And I asked them to go get it removed. But they said because of where it is, it would be cosmetic. And so I'd have to pay out of pocket for it. And so it'd be like $5,000 out of pocket just to have this hernia removed. And so I decided not to. I've just lived with it. So the only thing I can do is a lot of like sit-ups will bother it. And it'll even like start to like cramp up on me and things like that. But if I, like that's why like hanging leg raises, I can do for like 8 to 10. But then after that, I can feel it start to cramp up. And so I can only do so much core at the same time. But something like planks helps me way more because it's just stabilizing as opposed to actually putting pressure onto that. The tough thing about these shorts is that anything I put in my pockets, they're so small that it falls out. Like, one of the early critiques that I have at this gym, because even though Ashley's my friend, I still want to be as fair as possible. And so I could use, we don't have a shoulder pressing machine. And so that's one of the things that I would recommend her to get. And so again, like talking about an average lifter versus someone that's competing or has more experience, the main selling point of this gym is the accessibility of it. There's no one in your way. Here by yourself, you can come at any time. And so this gym, at more of a premium price, isn't gonna attract those people that are a little bit more nonchalant. The more nonchalant people are gonna go to a Crunch, Wow, Planet Fitness, all those types of things, and that's why it's so packed. But a gym like this, the workout, again, the equipment makes it's important, but it doesn't make or break the workout. Because even though they don't have like a pressing machine, we can still do a press with the dumbbells. So, but someone that struggles with overhead movement from a stability standpoint, say their shoulder pinches or something like that, a machine here might be better. But in turn, what you can do is you can just do an upright row instead. So you just got to innovate. One of the interesting things about this gym is, for example, like the pride flag up there, because at this point, with where we are in society and the world, it can be looked at and perceived in so many different ways. I don't care, right? But remember during like even like COVID type time, 2020, where a lot of these restaurants were putting those pride flags out, everyone included, and people wouldn't go to that restaurant anymore, things like that. So I don't say that you need to be careful about that, but it's interesting. All right, last set here. We're at that 8 point. That's where I can feel that. Oh my. I'm gonna grab a 10 from, see if she has one here. Perfect. This, I think it's one of those best exercises for core, but also the shoulders, where a lot of people, they do the dumbbells, right? Come in here, a lot of swinging. If you spread the feet apart here, right? One, I'm getting a little bit of a stretch in the groin. Two, to stay upright, I have to engage the core. And then all I'm doing is a raise. And this, it lights up the shoulders, and it also works trap 3 and trap 4 that are behind in the back. Now, in between the sets, there's a lot of different training philosophies, right? One is to rest. One is to superset a bunch of different things. It all depends on what you need. One thing that I found is that people that tend to rush their workouts a ton is the same muscle that you're working is to stretch the same one in between. And so, what do you want?
That bar behind you.
You can take it.
Yeah?
Yeah, go
Need
ahead.
it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's your gym. It's not mine. I don't own anything here.
Sharing is sharing.
I don't own anything.
No nonsense.
That was not nonsense. But yeah, so things like this, Like when you stretch a muscle, just like I was saying earlier, you're also pushing more blood into the muscle. And the more blood into the muscle you can get, and the more open it is, the better pump that you'll get. And that's why you see a lot of people like do their posing here, and they'll do it in between their sets because they're trying to push more blood into that same muscle that they're working. So there's a lot of different philosophies to use. So even the person that's sitting there scrolling on their phone in between their set, now it's one thing when it's a high school kid that his form looks like this, right? But someone that's just on their phone in the middle of their set, one, they might just not want to be disturbed, right? Two is that they're taking rest in between. Sometimes what I find myself doing is just, especially doing legs, my legs tend to cramp up quite a bit. And so I'll just pace around. And it kind of kills two birds with one stone. One, helps with the blood flow. But two, it helps me just get my steps for the day. Instead of going and taking like 30 walks or a 30-minute walk, I can go and I can just get my steps in between my sets. I think it was tough to do shoulders today too. I'm playing tennis after this. My shoulders are on fire. Oh, God. Oh. Do one more set of both. Yeah, one of the things I like about this space is you can know a lot about a gym by the music that they put on. So at most gyms, here's what you have. You have an old lady that works from 5 in the morning until noon, and they put on soft rock, okay? Like something super, super unmotivating. Then you have some kid that comes in at like 3 o'clock, and it's like a club. I would rather, whether I like the club type music or not, I'd rather listen to that than soft rock, because you want something more upbeat. There's a lot of different research and methodology to even the type of music that you listen to during a workout. If you're listening to like some type of meditation type music, it's going to put your body into more of a sympathetic state, that rest and relax state, versus something like this, it's going to put you in a parasympathetic state, heighten everything, and you're going to get a better workout like that than just listening to something like meditative. Last one, thank God. Ugh. This is only a 10-pound. That's how hard that exercise gets. Ugh. Wipe down some of this equipment now. And we'll do a couple more exercises. We'll be good. All right, we'll head over here now. See, one of the things that I'm not a fan of, though, in this gym and other gyms, is the gyms that don't let you carry a bag around. I prefer that a gym lets me carry my gym bag around. Most gyms that don't want you to carry the bag around is because they don't want it in the way. But I find that bringing this versus the bag, I'd rather have the bag. The bag is going to take up less space. Now it's proper gym etiquette. Whatever bench you're using is fine. Keep your stuff on there. But if you're using the bench next to it and then you have this stuff on the bench that you're not using, never do that, because someone might need this bench. Okay, that's one of those bigger pet peeves that I have. But again, in terms of bringing a bag into the gym, I would rather have a gym that allows you to bring a bag in and leave it wherever. Now, not unattended, where I'm like putting my bag here and going and working over there, but I think it makes more sense to keep the bag as opposed to me just putting all my stuff wherever. Like, I think this is also a gym that definitely has better lighting than other gyms, for sure. When it's a little bit darker, you look better. It's the same thing of like when people wear black versus a bright shirt, you look better in black because it's slimming. So it's the same thing with lighting, where the lighting tends to make you look slimmer and make your muscles pop, as opposed to like wearing a bright pink shirt or something like that, or like if the walls were pink, something like that. And I always think, like, especially like arms, I always like to superset because they're not a big muscle group. And so, yes, it's uncomfortable and you can push yourself, but at the same time, I think that you can do both and get just as good of a workout. So with triceps too, I think it's important. Angles are a big thing, where you want to do things that push down or that come out to the side, but you also want to do things that are overhead, because they work different heads of the muscle. I think it's cool that she has the little room too. Oh, we didn't even look at gym rules. Okay. Wipe down equipment after use, including benches. Return equipment. Put weights and other equipment back in designated areas. No food or drink except water bottles or closed lid. No sandals, no boots, no Crocs, or open-toed shoes. Okay. Do not drop weights, no slamming weights. Notify staff of malfunctioning equipment. No profanity. Maintain a positive and respectful atmosphere. No bags. Those are pretty self-explanatory more than anything. Like, I think one other thing that is going to be fun to talk about while we do these gym reviews is like just documenting the journey and the process. And so, especially for like me and Justin, who you may see snippets of, who's behind the camera, like we're not getting paid to do things like this. Like Justin loves being behind the camera. I love being on the camera. But aside from just loving being on the camera, my biggest thing that I'm learning is that I love helping other small business owners. So just like I've been doing like the coffee shop reviews and things like this, something like a gym review, if I'm able to bring business to Ashley, that's gonna make me feel good. And so when you can find some type of avenue where you can be of service to others, that is gonna make it so that like this feels so effortless. It doesn't feel like I'm like trying to perform for the camera. I'm just doing it because I love helping others. I'm being of service. And plus, I love the gym. Like, so they go hand in hand. And it's just like doing the coffee reviews. Like, I love drinking coffee. I love trying new breakfast sandwiches, finding a good cozy spot, things like this. And so especially like this, like Ashley isn't even like fully open. She's only done a soft opening, but like the vibe of this gym, I like the vibe so far. Is it somewhere? I think a good question to answer will be, would I spend money to come here? Now, we spent $20 for a day pass, which I think is reasonable. And then aside from that, would I spend money to get a membership here? If I hadn't optimized my schedule as much as I do right now, I would consider spending money here because it's open 24 hours. Where if I was a nurse and I had to work out at 8 o'clock at night or something like that, I would spend money to come here. But because of the distance and my schedule how it is, right now, I wouldn't spend money to come here. And I think that's important just to show like that I'm honest like that, you know? think I'm gonna try to do one more set of these, and I'm gonna try 40s. Those are 30s, and like that's hard enough. But I think I can get a good 5 or 6 on each with somewhat decent form. Somewhat. So I also like that she has a good amount of mirrors across, especially with the dumbbell area, because a lot of people like to watch their form, things like that. She doesn't have it by the machines, which is fine, it doesn't really matter. But I think it's important to have it in front of the dumbbells, and especially in front of the squat racks. So, okay, let's try the 40s. We'll see what we can do. Like 4 aside. Hey, this is better than nothing. All right. The only other thing I think we should try is that perfect squat. Ashley really loves that perfect squat machine. It's one of her favorites. People are just gonna have to bear with me. I broke my toe last week, so it doesn't exactly feel phenomenal, but I stubbed it. I just stubbed it so bad on a computer chair while I was barefoot, and I broke it, and it's miserable. It's been getting better, but it's definitely not perfect. Last week, I could barely even walk. Could barely walk. And I was like taping it together. I was icing it for like hours a day. But this week, I haven't been taping it as much. And one of the more like woo-woo type things that I do is like the grounding. And so where you have your bare feet on the grass, because the earth has this electromagnetic pull to it. And there's like this healing energy that comes from the earth. And so like a lot of like spiritual teachers and even like people that are super into yoga, things like this, it's why they don't like believe in shoes or things like that. They try to walk around barefoot as much as they can because it helps them connect to the earth. And so I do that daily. And I think in my mind, whether it's a placebo or not, I put my feet in the grass every single day. And I think that that's a big factor to why my foot has healed so quickly. So, but this is the perfect squat that Ashley was talking about. And so pretty much just put your shoulders under here. You'll face this way. Once you push up, kind of similar to like a calf raise, you'll bring this out. That way the weight can drop. And then you just find a comfortable position and you squat right down. That's it. It's definitely not a bad machine. It's honestly not my favorite, if I wanted to go a little bit deeper, you would just move this down. That way you could get deeper into the squat. But the pad, it will press up against here as like a safety mechanism. That way if you get stuck, you can just bail out of it instead of being stuck with the weight above you. So overall, I like this gym. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to show was, Ashley was telling me this about the other day. She had this interesting idea of when people come and get like a supplement somewhere, people don't like them sometimes. And you can't like go and return a supplement. So she created this box where if you use a supplement and you don't like it, you can put it in the box and then other people can go and take it. And so you can go and take some type of different supplement that someone else didn't like. And then and you can pretty much take this and then you can keep swapping them. So, I mean, like, what is this? Essential mist? Like, this is cool. Transform, like an essential oil mister? This doesn't even look like it's open. Like, who would put this in here? But I don't know what bag balm is. Hand and body for dry skin. Oh God. Oh, it feels weird. Oh, whoa. Okay. I guess I'm gonna try this. Like, but that's just like a interesting, neat idea. Free. Take one. Yeah, I'm glad we came. One of the things that's big for gyms is like protein shakes, things like that. They don't have them here, which I don't think it's like a make or break deal. I think the biggest things is that it's 24 hours. You're not gonna have a lot of people that are coming and like getting in your way or things like this. Now again, like they still only just have the soft opening. As the gym starts to progress, hopefully even this video will help attract more people into the gym. Even if you just go try it for like a day pass or something, like that's 20 bucks that is supporting a small business owner, right? And so overall, I recommend this gym primarily for someone that has a tough schedule, is low maintenance, because you don't constantly need to be like talking with someone or like going and like asking the desk for this and that and all these different types of things. So that's who I'd recommend it to. And yeah, I feel good about that. So cool.